Brad Burud here with Flames Unfiltered. Time for another Flames Unfiltered Shorts coming to you after Game 4, Round 1, Stars, Flames. And whew, what a big win. I'm not going to lie. I was probably as nervous prior to that game as I've been since honestly back when we gave away the Vancouver series in 4 straight. What was that, 94? I think it was 94. That's how scared I was. That's how nervous I was heading into this game. The tension was high at the house. Let's put it this way. Richie comes out, Stone in. 11 forward, 7 defense. That's a different look. We've seen it since opening night. That didn't go so well. I do feel like Stone's a calming factor for this team. I don't know why, but to me, he is a guy that just calms things down. Game gets underway. Nemetsnikov hits Gaudreau in the head. I thought it was a totally clean check. I'm not sure why you got a penalty on that one. I know a lot of Flames fans will argue with me on that, but he didn't target the head. That was a playoff hit. But we're happy we get the power play. Gaudreau goes down the tunnel after going out on the power play. Then the spotter looks like he pulled him down. All was fine. He came back later in the first, which is an amazingly good thing considering what we saw out of him in the second and the third. In the first, so Ottinger made that 10-bell save on Toffoli, and that's when I was like, oh boy, here we go. This is not going to be good. Shots in the first, 19-8. I thought the first period was good. Second period, Jamie Benn's back to his old thing. Slew foots Lewis, gets a $5,000 fine today. I was going to record this last night. I was a little bit more excited last night, but it was late. And then I had some other work for the podcast to do. And then I wake up this morning and I had a bunch of things going on. So now I'm doing it now. I'm calmed down a little bit. I'm extremely tired though. This playoffs are kicking my ass. Anyways, Ben gets a $5,000 fine today. That was handed down by the league. His second of the series, second in a row for games. Calgary goes on the power play for like 2 seconds, gets a cross-checking call on Anderson, and we're back to 4-on-4. The way we played this whole series, don't you think? Couple more penalties for Dallas, and we get a 5-on-3. Rasmus Anderson blasts one, bar down, 1-0 Flames. And I don't want to say the stress level eased at all. It didn't in my mind. Still suffering from a little PTSD from 2020 and the Dallas Stars. But there was a shift right after that quite honestly was my shift of the year for the Flames. They had Dallas pinned for 3+ minutes. Calgary had changed twice on that. Dallas ices it. A couple more all their players were forced to stay out. And then a penalty happens. And it was probably the worst penalty that I've seen the Flames get called on them this playoffs. It was ridiculous. As I believe it was, why am I drawing a blank on who it was? Was it Dubé? I don't remember who got the penalty, but it was super, super soft. I always look at the Stanley Cup playoffs as the most exciting playoffs in all of professional sports. And this is probably a bold statement, but I feel like this year, the officials and the frequency of the penalties now, if it's a penalty, it's a penalty. I want them just to call it the same as the regular season, but they're calling more penalties than the regular season. And that bothers me. But I feel like they're making this playoffs less exciting for the fans. And I think they're driving coaches and players batshit crazy doing it too. Frustrating. 1-0 after 2. And after 2, Tkachuk looked like he got cut in the back of the leg. I have not heard any words on that today. Went off, came back in the third and was fine. the turning point in the game and the turning point in the third period. Gaudreau's penalty shot. He goes 5-hole to beat Ottinger, and it's 2-0 Flames, and I started to feel a little bit better. Not long after that, on the 50th shot of the game, the 50th shot for the Flames, Lindholm buries it 3-0. And at that point, it felt like Dallas was really breaking down defensively. Calgary was controlling the play, and they were breaking down defensively. Game went on, some more power plays. Well, power play, Backlund took a penalty. They pull their goalie, so it's a 6-on-4. Sagan scores, it's 3-1. I'm like, ew, no, here we go. Then Raffle takes a penalty, and Backlund gets an empty netter, and we're 4-1. And all's good for Calgary, and they outshoot them 54-35. A huge performance for the Calgary Flames. Michael Stone with 8 shots. Hey, I feel like they have to have him back in the lineup for Game 5, don't you? Gaudreau much better. Tkachuk much better. You know why they were better? Because Tkachuk was playing hockey, worrying about scoring and playing his role in offense. Not that he wasn't aggravating, because he was, but he was staying out of the penalty box. He was doing what he was supposed to do, creating offense and being a first-line winger. Wow. And was he a lot better having his best game of the series? Gaudreau gets popped in the first period, and I think it knocked him silly and knocked him into playing hard. And maybe teaching him that we're going to be okay. Just keep your head up. Because Gaudreau was crazy good. Scores on the penalty shot, but had numerous other chances. Had an assist. Man, he was so much better. But why does it take with Gaudreau? Do you notice that's the second time this year he's got called out by the coach that I can remember? And bang, he was perfect in the next game. Why does that have to be that way? All in all, very happy with him. Very happy with Tkachuk. Markstrom was amazing. Nobody's talking about him. Everybody's talking about Ottinger and how great Ottinger is. Markstrom, wow. Has this guy been crazy good this series? Fun to see. But Gaudreau came to play. And Gaudreau sealed the deal on the penalty shot. And this was a huge Flames win. The biggest win for this franchise I can remember in a long, long, long time. Now we're tied 2-2. It's a whole new series. And you'd be a fool not to think that momentum isn't headed Calgary's way, because they totally outplayed Dallas in this game, and they solved Ottinger. Not terrible and blew him up or anything, but solved Ottinger. That's going to build confidence for this team. Back at the Saddle Dome tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 7:30 start, Game 5. We're down to a best of 3. Make sure you check out Flames Unfiltered this week. Kyle Lewis joins the show. He's a regular on the show. He's going to be joining us breaking down this Stars Flames series. You can check that out on all the major podcast players and a video version on YouTube. Yeah, that's the Flames Unfiltered show every week. Flames hockey talk, 1 hour every single week. I am the host of the show, Brad Burud. Check that out, and I hope you enjoy this Flames Unfiltered Shorts.